Louisville's Kevin Ware is recovering from extensive surgery today after suffering a gruesome leg injury during Sunday's win over Duke. The sophomore guard sustained a compound fracture of his tibia after jumping to contest a first-half shot. Louisville officials said surgeons reset the bone in Ware's right leg, closed the wound, and inserted a rod during a 2-hour operation. As you might expect, no timetable has been set for any return to basketball competition. Louisville coach Rick Patino stayed with Ware overnight at an Indianapolis hospital. He presented his injured guard with the regional championship trophy, a poignant moment following a terrifying injury. Shannon Spake has more on an emotional 24 hours on every level.
The word the University of Louisville Athletic Department used to describe the last 24 hours, bittersweet. While the Louisville players struggled after witnessing a horrific compound fracture of the leg suffered by their teammate and friend Kevin Ware, they rallied to beat Duke and earned a trip to the Final Four in Atlanta. The players dedicated the win to Ware, and they remain optimistic. They know he will recover. Ware remains here at IU Health Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis, and because he has an open wound, he will not be released until Tuesday morning at the earliest. At that time, he will likely be driven back to Louisville. Louisville head coach Rick Patino spent the night in Indianapolis and was at the hospital visiting Ware this morning.
He's in good spirits. His mom just flew in. He's in good spirits. The surgery went well. Obviously, they just want to make sure no infection sets in. But the surgery went very well. He's in good spirits. He's got the Midwest trophy right next to his bed, taking pictures with it. The doctors here have been tremendous. The hospital's been tremendous. And they operated right away on him. He's not in any pain. So we're real pleased with that. He'll come back tomorrow to Louisville and travel with the team to Atlanta. For the last 16 hours, we felt awful. Yes. But we feel good now.
Sunday night, photos of Ware sitting in his hospital bed with the championship trophy were released on Twitter. And I was told the team is hopeful Ware will make the trip to Atlanta for Saturday's game. In Indianapolis, Shannon Spake, ESPN.
Well, the reaction and moreover outpouring of support on Twitter was enormous. Robert Griffin III tweeted, "Prayers up for Kevin Ware, his teammates and family." LeBron James wrote this, "Prayers go out to Kevin Ware and his family. May you have a speedy recovery, kid, and come back even stronger." And former Redskins quarterback Joe Theismann, who suffered an unforgettable compound fracture of his own in 1985, said, "Watching Duke Louisville, my heart goes out to Kevin Ware." Let's welcome in ESPN medical analyst Dr. Michael Kaplan. Doctor, what was your first reaction when you saw the injury?
Well, it was awful to see. It's one of those things that even though I've been in the emergency room and seen these fractures before, when you see an athlete fail catastrophically like that with the leg burst open, you feel just terrible knowing the pain and how much the recovery is going to mean and how difficult it is. But he's going to be fine. He's through the biggest hurdles already, which is nerve injury and compartment syndrome. They got him immediately fixed with a rod, as they said, and he's comfortable now. So the next hurdles are really infection and healing. And infection is probably not going to be a problem. They've cleaned the open wound. And the healing is the longer part of this. You're talking about many, many months for the bone to heal and then for all the soft tissues. So it's a long process, an awful injury, but he's going to get through it.
What about rehab? I mean, when does that even begin?
Well, when you fix these with a rod like they did, the rod through the bone fixes both pieces and then screws on either end so that it's stable, you can begin rehab of the knee and the ankle below almost immediately. But the area around the fracture is so sore and the muscles, you can't really begin to rehab those until it starts to heal. So you're talking about 3, 4, maybe 5 months. And then till you really push it and be able to weight bear and get the extremity going, another 3 or 4 months after that. So it's 6 to 9 months recovery minimum.
We're used to seeing, unfortunately, catastrophic injuries in sports, and then we're used to seeing miraculous comebacks. Adrian Peterson comes to mind. Would there be any concerns once he goes through the recovery and then the rehab process about him being able to play at full strength again?
No. If he heals well, this is a young kid. He's healthy. He should be able to get back to the court. At some point, you want to take this rod out. And when you do that, you have to protect him again and rehab him again. So maybe you put that on the back burner, do it after his college career. But there's no reason why he shouldn't do very, very well. Adrian Peterson is a tough guy to compete with. I mean, he's an unusual person sort of a superstar in recovery, and everybody can't benchmark themselves with him.
You know, it was such a gruesome injury at the time. It's encouraging to hear you say encouraging things about his prognosis, and obviously well wishes go out to Kevin Ware, ESPN medical analyst.